So for once I actually got some sleep in before the race. I think I went out at like completely, how do you say it in English? Went out cold. Completely at 9 o'clock, and I woke up because I had to pee. Didn't look at the clock. Got to pee and like almost went back to bed, and that was when my alarm hit. So it was not that kind of uncomfortable 3 o'clock in the morning alarm clock where you're just completely fucked. I was like, oh, here we go. Went out, got some breakfast, and just made sure all my energy was ready. Bottles, swim skin, wetsuit, everything was packed, and then it was just about waiting for go time, and went down there 4:45, I think. Yeah, around that time. It's just so early. It's insane. In terms of that, it's the worst sport in the world. Because no matter what, at the Ironman races, we just have to go up crazy early. And I can tell you for sure, to watch Mitch face when he walked down and to get his morning coffee, that was. I got the kind of vibe that it was not a clever thing to speak to him before he got his morning coffee. And oh boy, did he have a long day in front of him. We went down to the transition zone with the other Danes, and from there it's just setting your transition up, and because of the rain forecast, we covered our bikes in plastic for it not to get wet. So of course there was a lot of stuff to remove, and the weather was not great. It was still raining in the morning. So that it's a huge part of triathlon. Of course, it's a huge part of sport, weather conditions. But it is actually a bit sad. I bet a lot of people came here to race a sunny, quite warm race on a flat course with not a lot of wind, which would arguably make for very fast times. Because obviously that's one thing a lot of age groupers especially they care about, and I understand why. So it was like the atmosphere was not 100%. It was not the best I've ever felt. People were a bit nervous. It was more like tension in a nervous way. And then the message came out that it was a wetsuit legal swim, which I did not really understand. I think somebody bribed the judges when it came to that, because I went in the sea the day before, and it was for sure close to 25 degrees. The cutoff, I believe, is 23, so for it to lower 2 degrees overnight is quite a lot, but that's how it is. The problem there is the fact that it takes a little bit longer to get your wetsuit on, and there was so many people down there, so we could not get a place to stand. So we had to stand in the rain and put on the wetsuit. And for those of you who have tried it before, it's nearly impossible, because the wetsuit is so close, so tight, and at the same time, when it's being wet, it's just impossible to wear. So that took a little bit longer than expected, which kind of transformed into a non-warm-up start, but that is just basically how it is. Yeah, and I went to the complete right side of the starting platform, and there was clearly the wrong end to a pretty bad judgment from my side. The gun went off, and we did not really hear the horn, so it took a sec before we actually, my side started the race, and I did not really feel like yeah, you know, I just did not really have the balls to go out as hard as I probably should have, to catch the front guys and be a part of that little group. And then all of a sudden, you know, we kind of, my side merged together with the other side, and I could just say I was so far down in the ranks there. And I was hit by, how the fuck is this possible? But you know, that's how it is sometimes. A minor slip there, and that kind of also like affected my race tactics a little bit. Tried to close the gap, went to the front of the group, but then I felt like I felt I couldn't really shake the other guys behind, and it was just a big group, so I wouldn't just like waste all my energy there, because it would be a long day, and it would be easier for me to just do a proper push on the bike to get away instead of like wasting my time, my energy on the swim. So I let somebody else take the lead. Yeah, got off the swim, felt quite good, did not really use any energy, and went on the bike. The first 15k, they were so slow. Like, being in that front group, it was like you pushed 240 watts or so in fourth position. It's insane how, like, yeah, it's boring to sit there. So I decided to go up and push a bit, because we still had some guys in front, and I also knew there were some guys behind who I did not really, if I could like decide myself, I did not really want those guys to join the group. So I went out, did a push, got a gap. Fortunately, Robert Callan joined, and Florian Anget. So that was pretty cool, and Robert just, like, he's such a strong bike rider. It's insane. So it was very nice to have some kind of like help there, just being a smaller group and be able to really like push it hard. And I think we got, yeah, we took out maybe 4 minutes in the next 90 kilometers on the chase pack, and then it was. I don't know what happened, but in some way Robert just got a little bit of a gap, and I just could not close it. And then he went away. So I was a bit sad about that, because of course I wanted to be in the front, but it was just, you get to that point where it's like you could go really deep to actually bridge the gap or stay with him, or you could take it like just keep it on the edge and then still like make it probably to T2, and that was what I decided. Yeah, so I made it into T2. Luckily, because of the rain, there's been a lot of mud and small stones and stuff on the road, and I thought like 30 kilometers left, I thought like, oh, the one thing that cannot happen right now is me getting a puncture, because I felt like there were so many guys on the side of the roads with punctures, and at the same time it's, you know, you can see, of course you see a little bit of the road you're riding on, the structures and stuff, and you could just see all the small stones. But luckily I made it into T2. But looking at my tires afterwards, there were so many small cuts, completely new tires, so many small cuts, and I run the Svalbe tubeless version, and I was so happy that it like the sealant just, you know, kept seal all the small holes in the tire, because it's just one of those things, like, you cannot really control it. You can just hope for the best, and of course on a bike course like this, you choose the fastest tires with no real puncture resistance. So that's, yeah, massive kudos to Svalbe for making that kind of tire. I think that's really impressive. You know, went out on the run. Robert had 1 minute 30, and and I heard everything between 3 minutes and 6 minutes down to the other guys behind. And I thought I had an idea in my head that ideally I could run 3:45 pace. I felt like if I could settle into the same pace throughout the whole run, that would kind of it'd have to feel easy in the beginning, but I felt like it was realistic to hit a 3:45 pace, even though I pushed quite hard on the bike. So I just settled in, and then we head out to the turnaround at the far end, and I turned around and could see Patrick Lang and Gregory Barnaby. Really, it looked like they were really seriously running fast, and I thought, okay, Patrick, he's probably like, you just know he runs fast, and he's so experienced, so he also know how to run it, how to pace it. I knew the Gregory, that was his first. It was his first Ironman. I know he'd been on short distance and of course have some leg speed. I knew for sure that if he ran like 3:30, 3:35, he would not make it to the end of the run, because the only possible way would be if he really sat close in that chase group, and that's the unknown for me when I run out there. I don't know how fresh legs he have. So it was basically just keeping your own pace and, control all the things you could control yourself. And I think I did that quite well, went almost even split on the two loop or 4 loops. I kept saying to myself, like, it's at kilometer 30 the Ironman really starts, because I know that's where people get tired, that's where people fall apart and really begin to suffer. And I kept the 3:45 the whole way, and I felt like, that would be a sub 2:40 marathon. And if Patrick had to run in my head, I kind of calculated 2:33. That's never been done before, so I thought like, that's maybe not gonna be he'll probably crack at some point. So I also thought I thought I had a realistic chance of winning if I went home in a like 3:38 or something. Turns out he defied all odds and did a 2:30 marathon, which is fucking insane. I also heard afterwards that he was actually the guy driving 90% of the bike down at the chase group, and that just makes it even more impressive. I think that's really, really cool that he took matters in his own hands as well, and decided to race, and that's huge kudos. I think from looking at that, the course here is not flat as well. There was rolling hills all the time, so it might be one of the like greatest performances on Ironman from an athlete's like capabilities. I think it was really, really impressive what he did there. Unfortunately, I wish I'd been able to hold him off, but at the same time, I'm pretty happy that I could actually go past that 30 kilometer mark and still feel like I could keep that pace, and I could keep the technique and the tension, and all those factors kind of, it was a great effort, and I'm super proud of my performance on race day. I'm super proud on the way I bounced back from Kona. That's the main part, because it was not fun coming home from Kona at all. It was a tough experience. There was many difficult thoughts, and at the same time also kind of a lot of motivation. The way I want to define my career is not by the setbacks I have. That's by how I bounce back from those setbacks, and that's what I tried to do here. And I also feel like I did it, even though I came in second. I feel like I did everything I could before the race, and also at the race to challenge Patrick as good as possible. I knew I had to get a gap on the bike, and I chose to do it myself. And then, I couldn't really do anything else, I feel. The only thing would be to swim a bit better, but that's what happens sometimes. So now it will just be nice to have a bit of a downtime and enjoy Christmas a bit, visit some sponsors, see all my friends again, be a bit social, and just enjoy time. That's but first, enjoy Israel.